And we're live, except it looks like it's now logged me out of yours, Billy.
Logged out of your mine?
So we live?
We're live on some of them.
All right, we're live on some of them. So for some of you that are watching on some of them, then we're live, and I guess we'll go on live on the other ones. We got like 7 or 8. Hey, welcome back to the show.
Awesome.
How are you, man?
It's good.
It's Feel Good Friday. I'm Paul Sullivan, along with Billy Merritt. Billy Merritt presents the podcast every. By the way, I had to make sure that I say this now. I keep forgetting. I have a lot of my family and friends in Chicago, so I had to make sure that I say 11 o'clock Eastern.
Yes.
Because a couple people, that when I went home a couple weeks ago to Chicago, they were like, I turned it on. It's always like after the fact. And I'm like, what? And then I thought about it. I'm like, aha, the time change. So we've got 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern every Friday. So a big deal. Of course, Memorial Day weekend, a lot of folks, had barbecues and, they went to the beach. So what did your family do?
We actually, all the kids were with friends or other family, so we chilled right there at home. April and I, we had a memorial. We started a new Memorial Day. What's that called?
Tradition.
Yep.
We've worked together for so long. We can just finish each other's sentences.
Exactly. just lay by the pool and do nothing.
Well, that's a pretty good tradition. I think a lot of people are doing that. They're just kind of, relaxing. It was weird that I saw a lot of people that were glad, with COVID sort of on the downturn, if you will. But they were like, we can go out, we can go do stuff. So there were a lot of people that were actually doing some things. But then there were some other people who were kind of like, you know what, even though I can go out and do stuff, I think I'm just going to chill, kind of like what you and April did.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's what's great about Memorial Day. It's like an American holiday. You get to do whatever you want to do because we still live in the USA. Are we live on my page now?
Yeah, we're live on Billy's page now, too.
I was trying to concentrate, but I couldn't concentrate. I'm like, we've got this.
Johnny come lately,
We've got this whole thing set up to go live on my.
Well, here's Billy going on. Billy was actually on time, and this time Smith couldn't get it pulled up on his page. So Billy was actually here on time. So we'll give him credit for that. So no, we were talking about Memorial Day, and by the way, I know you probably can't remember it verbatim, but you had a really good post on Memorial Day, and this is Feel Good Friday, and I know it's a little more of a serious or somber post, but can you kind of paraphrase what your post was?
Was it about the World War II sacrifice?
Yeah, it's really cool.
So here's the deal: Memorial Day. What is Memorial Day about? Well, we think it's about barbecues, and a lot of people. Yeah. And I used to be guilty of this too. As a matter of fact, one of my friends called me out on it on Facebook. It was kind of funny. Imagine that. But I used to think it was about the military.
Right.
Well, it's not about. It is about the military, but Memorial Day is about the people who lost their lives.
Right.
For our country.
Yeah, people they confuse Veterans Day.
Yeah.
With Memorial Day.
Memorial Day is about honoring the people who have fallen and died and given the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
Okay, so we at least need to acknowledge that on Memorial Day.
Right.
So we'll do it right now. So for those of you who
missed it.
Yeah, who missed it, or maybe who got it wrong. Memorial Day is about honoring the fallen, honoring the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice and gave their life. Okay. So the Battle of the Bulge. I won't consider myself a history.
That's not a weight loss plan, by the way.
No.
This is for real.
It is the one of the bloodiest battles in World War II. Now I won't call myself a history buff, but I do really like it. April would say that I'm a history buff, but I'm not. Like, I don't remember everything about every little battle and things like that. But it was the bloodiest American battle. The Allied forces were young, tired, resting. And Hitler and his men came in outnumbered. Now I'm really paraphrasing. I'm really like giving you the Reader's Digest.
The condensed version.
Outnumbered 10-1 in some cases. Okay. And it was Christmas. Their Christmas surprise to the American troops and the Allied forces, their Christmas surprise was Nazi forces showing up dressed as American soldiers and killing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Right. And we had the gall to bitch and complain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you another World War II story that I don't remember the island that they were taking. Somebody probably, I see Kim Ledbetter watching. He probably knows this, but when we stormed the beaches, was it Normandy?
Normandy. Yeah.
Okay. And we got there. These amazing soldiers got there, and the Japanese were up in the mountains next to the beach shooting down. So they were shooting ducks, you know, they were sitting ducks, and they had to crawl like this on the sand, wet. Don't remember how cold it was, but it was, and they stayed in the prone position on that beach for 16 hours.
Long time.
The ones who actually survived.
Right.
So you're cold, wet on the beach, people shooting at you. You had to stay there for 16 hours, and maybe you survived. And we have the gall to bitch.
Like, COVID sucks.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're right. People, I mean, I'm just as guilty. Think about it now. How many people, bitch and moan when the internet goes out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even worse, the people who complain about the speed of the internet. The internet is so slow. Shout out to my buddy Michael, Michael Van Cleve. He's always been like that. He wants like top speed all the time. Yeah. If it's, if it lags just a little bit, he would come to my house, and I don't pay for like the super fast, and it's fast enough for me, but I don't pay for like, the whatever. Sean knows the Smith. He knows what's the top speed.
Well, I've got 100 gigabytes per second, but I'm fairly certain there are people that have like a terabyte.
Yeah. See, they start saying, bytes and all that. I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, does the internet work?
It's thousands of what I have essentially, which is totally ludicrous.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of make fun of the speed. By the way, Kim Ledbetter, thank you, who copied with permission from Wikipedia the information on the Battle of the Bulge. You can see it in detail. That was definitely a serious thing. Now, of course, again, we definitely want to recognize the people who we lost in our military, in all the different battles. And sometimes our guys are, they're killed by friendly fire and, in wars and battle and training and all that kind of stuff. So it's really recognizing everybody that's lost their life, trying to keep our country free. So again, thank you guys to you. So now, again, Feel Good Friday. I'm going to flip the script a little bit and go a little bit more fun. As usual, I know you were shocked again. I'm wearing my Cubs gear. I know, but as usual, wearing my Cubby gear. The Cubs are in first place now. Yeah, they went from like the bottom feeders just a couple weeks ago to first place. So that's how quickly things can change in baseball. But I know it's a long season, so I'm not going to brag and gloat a whole lot. However, did you notice my hat? I brought this one out of the closet. The World Series champions right here from 2016. Brought this one out of the closet because they're in first place. So I was like, okay, it's time. Just time to bring it out. Plus, my friend Scott, who gave me a hard time, and when I started wearing all the World Series gear, he told me I had a 5-year limit. So this is the 5th year.
Really?
So after 5 years, I can't wear this. He told me it's like, no, 5-year limit. Then you got to put away all the World Series stuff. You can wear your regular Cub stuff, but you can't wear the World Series stuff. 5 years, apparently that's some kind of unwritten rule. Were you aware of that rule?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It'd be like me wearing a UGA national championship shirt, it's like, that's a classic.
But that's what I mean. I'm like, hey, you pay tribute, that type of thing, but no, he told me 5 years was the limit. So I'm going to wear my my World Series stuff as much as I can this year. But yeah, Cubs are in first place. So I teased a little bit on my page about a wedding in the future, and I put a question mark, and people, a few people are like, what, all this kind of stuff going, wait a minute, there's a wedding in the future. Well, yes, but not mine. So kind of let the cat out of the bag. Not my wedding. We're going to a wedding. I wanted to tell what an idiot I was. Here I thought, now my daughter-in-law getting married, Laurel, who's marrying Shane in North Carolina. And we're supposed to be going. And, I went to Chicago and I had a lot on my mind and I was kind of a little bit distracted and stuff. So I came back. Well, I thought that the wedding was this weekend. So, I mean, I booked rooms, I was ready to go, made a schedule and the work schedule here so that I'd be off. And then Wednesday, we were supposed to leave Thursday morning. That I thought. And then Wednesday night, so I asked, I'm asking Brenda, and I was like, hey, I'm assuming I'm driving to North Carolina tomorrow.
She looked at you.
She looked at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world. She was like, not tomorrow.
Now, Paul,
next week.
That is a Billy Merritt thing right there.
Man, I tell you,
seen one.
That was embarrassing.
Many of you may not know this on Feel Good Friday. I'll tell you a little secret about Paul. Paul, like me, is a southpaw. He's a lefty, right? And most left-handed people I know are like me, very right-brained, very creative. I'm not saying you're not creative, but you're very structured in most cases, right? Like you're very, very structured.
I'm usually pretty good at that, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's a totally left-handed thing to do right there.
Yeah, so I was just, completely. So I had to call the hotel and, redo the rooms and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, it was just kind of a flub on my part. But then I've got my nephew is getting married in a couple of weeks up in Athens. You know, of course, 'tis the season. You know, June, July, August. You know, it's happening. Yeah,
Synchronicity. Now, funny story. Talking about somebody who should be left-handed, but he's right-handed. I'm not sure. I think he's really left-handed. Case Merritt is right-handed, but he is definitely like, you have to tell him where he's at a lot of times, right? Straight A student, chiropractic, and the doctor of chiropractic, all that stuff. So anyway, he very smart guy, but he just have to kind of tell him where he's at sometimes. He can get lost on the way home. He was coming in from Atlanta last night. We were in Broxton, and he passes us. I said, there's Case. He has no idea. He just passed us on the road. But anyway, he's coming home because he and Cooper have some friends that are getting married in St. Augustine tomorrow. So they're going down there to take care of that. So 'tis the season, I suppose.
It is. 'Tis the season. So, I mean, you know, it's like, so what I wanted to ask is, all right, so if you were having a wedding, all right, so let's say, you know, your daughter, your sons, whatever, are getting married, you know, or if you were getting married again, no, you know, not that you're going to divorce April. I didn't want to throw that out there. Bad juju. Yeah. But so if you were having a wedding, do you have open bar?
Yeah.
You have open bar?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what's your limit on the open bar? Do you have like certain brands? Do you have a dollar amount? I mean, how do you play the open bar?
Now, Paul, you have been to my Christmas parties.
Yes, I have. You know, very fun.
And so you just kind of got to estimate, okay, how many people are coming, and just say, okay, I'm okay with if it gets crazy.
Yeah.
What was what was the bar tab? I can't remember which was the most.
No idea.
Yeah. I think it was about 3,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I think it was 3,500.
And well, you know, we had a good time. I'll say, I don't know if we had $3,500 worth of good time, but we had a good time. But thank you for that. But no, it was kind of a thing. I was thinking about that going, you know, some people, when you go to a wedding that has open bar, there's certain people like they'll drink, you know, Bud Light, no disrespect, but you know, they'll drink like cheap beer. In other words, you know, they'll drink some cheap stuff, Natural Light or whatever. Then they'll go to a wedding that has open bar. They want top shelf liquor now.
Or they drink Smirnoff when they're buying vodka themselves. They drink the Grey Goose.
That's right, when it's open bar. Yeah. Exactly. You know, doing the fancy labels, all that kind of stuff. So have you ever done that? Have you ever gone to the open bar and you, like, I'll just say, drank a little up, you know, on labels and things like that?
Now, I do not order from the right side of the menu. So therefore, when I go to somebody's open bar, I have the right to get what I always get. I'm going to get.
You're going to get whatever you normally order, you know. So I get.
They got that Belvedere Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Now, by the way, Smith, what is it that you like? Wild turkey?
Yeah,
honey, something like that.
Mostly the honey turkey. Yeah,
honey turkey.
No, I love margaritas and stuff like that too. But yeah,
when he first told me that he liked honey turkey, I'm thinking lunch meat.
Right.
That's the first thing I was thinking of. But yeah, it's wild turkey, the honey, whatever that he likes. But he's a whiskey man, is what he said. And then of course, he likes margaritas. Wait, hey, but by the way, that's a very good segue right into our beer of the week. Something really unusual. Smith's going to put it up there now. It's really hard to see in the back. I always got to figure out where I'm at over here. So over there, it's like right behind Billy's head. It's really hard to see. But the beer of the week, it's called. Can you pronounce that?
Shoofy.
McShoof.
Shoof.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
Yeah, McShoof. And it's a Belgian beer. And it's really hard to see. But if you take a look, bless you there, Smith over in the background. The McShoof, but it's a fun bottle. You can see it's like a little short stubby bottle. And it's a Belgian brown ale. Now this was a beer that I'd never had. And the lady in North Carolina, when I went to that beer store about a month or so ago, recommended it for me. And she was like, hey, if you like, and I really like Scotch ale. That's my favorite type of beer, is Scotch ale. But she didn't have any there. And she said, you know, because it's kind of out of the season, this is a heavier, darker beer. And now that it's summer, you know, the lighter beers are more popular. But she said, if you like Scotch ale, she's like, this is about as close as I got. This McShoof, it's real weird to pronounce, but it's MC and then it's CHOUFFE. McShoof is how you pronounce it. But it's a darker beer. It's 8% alcohol, so it's pretty heavy duty. And again, it's not quite a Scotch ale, but it's pretty close and it's pretty good. Now, do you want to taste some of this? You want to taste it?
Sure.
I brought my Cubs cup. I know
Yeah.
this is probably pouring into the
I got
plastic.
3 funny stories. Don't go anywhere. You want to hang around for these
Pouring
3
it into
stories.
plastic is probably not,
Probably not.
it's probably like
appropriate.
sacrilegious or whatever,
I
but
got 3 funny stories when I get a chance.
okay. No, all right. So we'll try this. So,
Okay.
by the way, you notice he's drinking out of the Cubs cup.
McShoofy.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
It's all right.
That's pretty good.
McShoofy.
Yeah, McShoof.
McShoof. Okay.
Or you can call it McShoofy if you want. No one's gonna know.
I got 3 funny stories. 2 of them are about light beer. Well, 2 of them will fit right into the segment right here.
Okay.
Okay. One of them's at my own expense, so it's okay for me to talk about this other guy.
Okay.
Okay. I have a real good friend. I won't say his name, but if anybody else wants to tag him and tag Scott Sinclair on my friend list, if you want to tag him in the comments, I'm going to talk about Scott. He used to own the liquor store. He still, they own his family.
Yep.
He's been in the liquor business for years.
Mhm.
He loves to go to his vacation is usually like Vegas or somewhere like that.
Mhm.
So he goes to Vegas, takes his wife to Vegas. They go to this fancy place. It's got the wine. You get on the elevator. They ride up there and pull them off the thing and ride back down. It's really cool in one of the casinos. And he orders a strawberry daiquiri, and his wife orders a Budweiser.
They got all this cool choices, all this fancy stuff, strawberry daiquiri and a Bud Light.
And they bring the Budweiser and the strawberry daiquiri. Here you go, sir. Give him the Budweiser.
Oh, and they flipped it.
Yeah.
And he wanted the strawberry daiquiri.
He wanted the strawberry daiquiri.
Well, by the way, go ahead.
At my expense, when I was when we went and trained with Matt Fraser, we went and trained with him.
Yeah.
They had non-alcoholic. They had seltzer water.
Yeah.
And you just drink a little flavored, no calorie seltzer water.
Mhm.
It's kind of refreshing, right? It's refreshing after a workout or whatever. Right. Okay. So I drank, and that's pretty good. So and when I went to Texas to Cowboy Kia, they have, like the crafts out there. It's so cool when you travel around. They have what they had creek water, and they had ranch water, which is a seltzer.
Okay.
You're right.
Is that a brand or a style?
No, it's a brand.
Okay.
It's it's a label, like one of the types of beer, one of the different beers. But the ranch water was really good. It was really good. I got home. The closest thing I could find to it was a White Claw.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find.
So I was sipping a White Claw, and of course April had to snap a picture of me.
Billy drinking the White Claw. Yeah. No, I mean, the Truly is a flavored seltzer too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of them out now. That's kind of it's a real trendy thing. In fact, I think Smith, didn't you say that you like those?
You said flavored seltzers?
Yeah. Well, wasn't it? Oh no, you
I
like
don't
the
think-
ciders. Yeah, you like that.
I like
you
the
like
ciders.
Angry Orchard.
You know what's trendy
stuff like
that's just silly is that hazy beer. Like that just means that it's not.
It's not filtered.
Yeah, it's not.
I like it.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I like some of the hazier beers.
All right, my third story, and I'm done
Okay.
with stories right now. Story time by Billy. I noticed looking in the camera over there that my face looks dark, so I should have taken this off, but I didn't put any product in my hair. So, I was in your office with Kevin the other day, Kevin Tinahero.
Mhm.
He said, "Dang, boss man, you're getting darker than me."
He did say that. So Billy and I quite a bit of difference there. You can see. I'm like, whitest man in America. Billy's trying to be Hispanic, working on being African American. You're out by the pool all the time.
No.
Well, not all the time.
No.
I mean, you work a little. I mean, you work
Oh
a little.
Oh my God.
Billy works a little. I mean, I had to throw
I'll
that out.
have you know, in the last 48 hours, I've been in this office more than anyone else, any other one person.
I would actually agree with you on that.
Yep.
The 4 days prior, however, I was in the office. I was done.
Yeah. I forgot I was in Texas doing dealer relations.
That's right. See, so I was holding it down here in the office, putting in all the hours.
Right.
But hey, by the way, if you missed last week's beer of the week, because I only had one of these, and I knew that Billy would like last week's. It was the UFO Georgia Peach beer, so I brought Billy in one because I had one that I brought last week for him, but he wasn't here. So that one actually is perfect for by the pool. I mean, it's light, and see how it's just a hint of peach,
Dude.
It's not sweet at all.
It's got a hint of seltzer.
Does it? By the way, it's a hazy beer.
Is it? It's got some carbonation in it.
No, it does. It does. But isn't it good? I mean, isn't that light?
Yeah.
Like really good for like the beach or by the pool or, if you're on the fishing boat, stuff like that. It's just real light, real good.
Or if
So,
you're
UFO.
or if you're, I gotta say the right number so I don't get anybody in trouble. Or if you're 21 years old and you're trying to get a 21-year-old girl to go with you.
Yes. Yeah. That'd be the one.
This is the most girly beer I've ever drank.
That's pretty girly. I mean, I have to admit it's pretty light and just a little bit fruity.
I feel like a man drinking White Claw after drinking that.
I don't think I'd go that far, but that, by the way, that is 5.1. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit higher. It's not super high, but it's a little bit higher than like what's White Claw, like 1.2 or something?
It's 5.0.
I'm kidding. The seltzers really are. They're actually pretty strong. They don't taste like it. And I will give the seltzers this. They're not filling.
Right.
So that
they're usually low calorie too.
Yeah.
They're really good if you have heartburn. So I use it as medication only.
White Claw for medication. I get it. Okay.
But I don't have. If somebody from Texas will send me some ranch water, please. Just sounds tougher.
Didn't you? I mean, can't Mark or somebody at Cowboy Kia? Can't they hook your brother up? I mean,
they need.
Although I mean, you stole their car key.
I did. You
want to go into that story? Make it the fourth story because that was pretty.
So
funny.
they were super cool to come pick me up from the airport. We flew in. They brought us a car, and then we drove the car around all week. They let me drive the car everywhere, and then it was time to go, and we didn't have time to get somebody to follow us. So we was just going to leave the keys in the car at the airport. As we're getting about 3,000 foot of elevation, I said, I had the key to a brand new Kia with me. So,
well, I can't really make too much fun because I did that when I left Chicago. I used my sister's car, not this go round, but a couple years ago. I brought my sister's keys home with me, so I had to do the same thing. I had to FedEx them, to her. Hey, by the way, Robert Brooker, thanks for watching. He's also left-handed.
Cool. That does not surprise me at all.
So he's a lefty. I was talking about way back in the day, they were offering malt beverages in tropical fruit flavor. Do you remember those?
No.
Don't tell me that you're not old enough to remember that.
I mean, look, man.
I know you're younger than me, but you're not that much. Dang.
Malt beverage. I remember when they first came out with natural ice.
Oh man, gosh, natural ice. Yeah, I remember the ice beers. That was the big thing. And could you really tell the difference?
Yes.
Could you really?
Yes, because natural light is drinkable, especially when you are 21. Of course, not younger. Yes. But when you're 21 and you work at the trailer plant and you get off every day, 3:00, and
it's hot.
It's hot, and you can buy a 12-pack for like $6. It's very drinkable. But the natural ice is not drinkable. Natural ice is for alcoholics only. If you drink natural ice, you are a straight up alcoholic. Nobody drinks.
I do remember when the ice beers, Bud Ice and yeah. They weren't good, and I couldn't figure out what they was supposed to be different. Because I didn't really care much for Budweiser. No disrespect to Anheuser-Busch, but I didn't really like that very much. But that's what to me, if you put Bud and Bud Ice next to each other, it
tastes flat. Okay, it's flatter, and it tastes like it's been frozen and warmed back up. It does, and then it tastes like it has more of a straight alcohol, like the ethanol, or the that stuff that you make moonshine. It tastes like
grain alcohol.
Yeah, it does. It does.
The nasty stuff. So, all right. So let's get back onto the wedding talk for just a minute. All right. So weddings. All right. So if, because again, 'tis the season. So we're going to the wedding in North Carolina next weekend. So I won't be in the studio for the show next week. So they're having a beach wedding, which is right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I thought maybe I could just tag you. You could like go for me, because I'm not a beach guy. Obviously you could tell. I'm going to burn. I have to be, coated down. We have to be dipped in sunblock to go out there. But so here's the thing. The wedding is beach attire. Okay. Because the wedding is actually on the beach. So it's beach attire, but the rehearsal dinner is supposed to be kind of formal.
Mm-hmm.
It's backwards.
No, you can do it.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, that's just me, but it's not my wedding. So I'm just saying.
Well, what they should do. No, I don't need to tell them what they should do.
Let them have it.
What I have done in the past at a beach wedding, okay, is everyone wears a suit, a light colored suit.
Okay.
And you go barefooted and roll your pants up. And then you take your suit jacket off and you roll your sleeves up.
You wear the vest.
Yeah. You go out on the beach and do that. And then when it's time to go to be the formal thing, you put your shoes and socks on, you put your jacket on.
Jacket back on, you're good to go. I get it. Okay. That makes sense.
I don't know what the women are supposed to do.
All right. So if you're having a wedding on the beach, what's a first dance? What's a song that you play if you're the couple? Like, if the wedding's on the beach, what's the song you play? What's one that pops into your head for the first dance when it's on the beach? Because I'm a DJ and there was nothing that really came to mind.
Okay, now I'm not by like normal time. I'm not a country.
Oh, you're gonna say Kenny Chesney, aren't you?
No, that would be pretty good. But let me tell you a hilarious story.
Okay,
a personal story.
All right.
I got married over the water in Jamaica, and we didn't have our music. Like we left our music back, and one of our friends had I believe it was an iPod. It might have been a phone, but I think it was an iPod. It could have been an iPhone, but I would highly recommend getting married at a resort where they take care of everything.
Yeah,
because then all we had to do was show up, and we said, oh shoot, I forget what our song was. But we had to re-choose a song, so we're like scrolling through these songs real fast,
trying to find one,
and it was funny. We're in Jamaica, Luke Bryan, okay, and I can't remember the name of the song because I'm not a country fan, but it's girl, you make my speakers go boom, boom, or whatever. And this Jamaican lady who's like in charge, she's like, oh, the boom, boom song, the boom, boom song.
Play the boom, boom song.
So you got to play the boom, boom song.
That's the one. So I'm gonna tell Laurel that the boom, boom song, that's the one to play. I'll have to look it up because I don't know what the boom, boom song is. So
it's called Drunk on You.
Drunk on You.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for the beach.
It is because, right after they dance, you're going to drink champagne and everything. And girl, you make my speakers go boom, boom.
I thought for sure you were going Kenny Chesney. I thought like, no shoes, no shirt, no problem or something, one of those.
Why is she wowing at me?
April.
Why are you wowing at me? What did I get wrong?
Was that your first song?
Yes.
That's what you got wrong.
What did I get wrong? Because I can't remember the name of it.
That's probably it. You couldn't remember the first song, and then you wanted to replace it with the boom boom song. So
that's what the little lady.
So yes, I'm with April. Wow. just wow. Hey, by the way, Robert Brooker also threw out Labatt's Labatt's Blue. I can't remember Labatt's,
baby.
April's still on it.
I may not can remember the name of it, but every time it comes on, I send it to her. If it's playing in my truck, I don't obey the laws that talk about no texting and driving. I take a picture of the Sirius screen right there
of the boom boom song,
and I send it to her. Ooh, the boom boom song,
the boom boom song. So, April, how did you feel about the boom boom song being selected as your first dance?
She selected it. She not.
You can't remember her birthday either. Dude,
I remember July 17th.
Oh, did you see the pause? We got it on film. We said July.
That was
let me be right. 17th.
That was for effect.
For anyone who missed it on the last Winning Together, he mixed it up with one of y'all's kids, right?
Oh, so
he was like a
be mad at Smith right now for not being able to remember Trevor's name.
Oh, yeah. That is too funny.
It's July 17th, July 19th.
Okay.
And see the way I get it right in my head, and I never get it wrong, is April was here first. So 17 is before 19.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I didn't get it wrong. I was playing with y'all.
Okay. And I'm sure April believes that too. Sure she does. Hey, speaking of music, let's swing into the classic rock revisit of the week. This one, now I know you know this album. I know you know this one. Everybody knows at least one of the songs off this album. It's the Escape album from the band Journey. Huge, a monster album from 1981. The song Don't Stop Believin'. Everybody knows that one. Just a small town girl, blah, 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 blah. I like the song, but man, has it been overplayed. I played it all the time too when I was a DJ, but man, has it been overplayed. But such a great album though, really. It came out in 1981. And they had 5 singles off this thing. I mean, it was such a great record. And I did have it actually. I had the actual record, and I had it on cassette, and then I had it on CD, and now I have it, on my phone. I mean, it's just the way things go now. But Don't Stop Believing, of course, that was the big one that everybody remembered. But there were so many other songs. Open Arms is a big song for them off that album. Who's Crying Now, another ballad. That was kind of the album that really made Steve Perry that big rock star, like stadium rock star vocalist. They had the big power ballads. Still They Ride was another ballad that was on the album. But they had some great rockers on there too. Stone in Love and Keep on Running. Great rock tunes, some great guitar stuff on there. And by the way, Stone in Love, just if you want to go do this, it's pretty fun. I'm going to post this on my own Facebook page coming up a little later this afternoon. But if you go to YouTube and you pull up the video for Stone in Love, or the song, just whatever, you don't need the official video, but just the actual song itself there. If you stop at 1 minute and 5 seconds. All right. So if you listen right there, the beginning of that verse, 1 minute and 5 seconds of the song Stone in Love. All right. Do that. And that's the song my friend Dusty from high school. There's a line in there that says Old Dusty Roads, and then it actually continues on, but it points out his name. So, when you're young and stupid, anytime somebody says your name or whatever, you think it's fun. So we would just sing that like, karaoke style in the car and just jam. And then I'd point to my buddy Dusty when that line came on, just being idiots. We were stupid. And, we were like 16 when that happened. But that was, and I was actually, that one came out 2 years before I got my driver's license. And so as a little recollection, if you will, for Dusty, remember the Orange International Scout. I actually had one of those. Do you remember those?
That's cool.
Yeah. Mine was not cool. I got to tell you, that thing sat in the driveway more than I drove it. It broke down on me all the time, but it was fun when I drove it. So it really was fun. And it was bright orange.
That's cool. That's cool color.
It was a bright orange. We took the top off and we had a lot of fun. Some really good stuff with that. Robert Brooker, he had the album on cassette that summer, spent it in Nashville, Tennessee, being present for my cousins is what he says. Just a really great album. I mean, it really was a great album. And what did Kim say? Kim
he had to go to a meeting. Okay.
I
didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking about this. Maybe he saw me say goodbye, Kim. Thank you for coming on and spending some time with us today, man. I love meeting people all over the country. I really do.
That's one of the fun things. And, obviously we love it when people comment. So if you have a comment, please do so. But there's other people who, again, this is during the workday. So, I mean, I know we're drinking beer and stuff. It's 10 a.m. in Chicago.
This is not beer.
If you mix the two, we might get a regular one.
I think I got one of Chloe's fruit drinks.
Well, that's the one that the girls are. You need to take another one of those to April, and she will like it. I forgot. Assuming she drank,
it does.
I always have to, do that.
It looks just like a can of sparkling water.
It really does. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like beer, at all. Mine, on the other hand, the beer of the week, Le Chouffe, is very dark and very heavy, but it is actually really good.
That's from Belgium, right?
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Belgium and European movies and series lately.
Why?
That's different.
Where do you go to find Belgian?
Netflix. Once you like one of them,
then they start popping up.
Mm-hmm.
So what's one of them that you liked?
The Dogs of Berlin.
Okay,
that's a good one.
So it's a series or a movie?
The Dogs series.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll check it out. No, is it subtitled?
No.
Okay,
yes.
So it like subtitle or they dub it with English?
They dub it.
Okay.
Yeah, they dub it. And then
Smith knows all about that.
The
Japanese
Undercover. Undercover is a good one.
Undercover.
Undercover. Great.
That one sounds familiar.
Well, I'm sure there might be an American.
I was going to say, was there an American actor in it?
No.
Okay, so
they're straight.
Probably not. Undercover, obviously a common title. So that's probably
Belgium, different things.
So, but that's really odd.
Yeah.
You would just, you were just searching through, or did you actually type Belgian movies?
No, somebody was very clever when they named that movie Undercover. Mm-hmm. That's like,
that sounds good. Undercover sounds good. Start watching it.
You start watching it.
They're going
here.
The words aren't matching.
Like those old
Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
That was good. They actually have. I didn't know they had horses over there.
So they do this like if this is the mouth. So I have to So do they do this? Yes.
They actually do a pretty good job.
So they move their mouth about 17 times. Yes.
They did a pretty good job.
So Undercover. What was the name of the other one?
The Dogs of Berlin.
Dogs of Berlin. Okay. So I'll have to check.
Do not waste your time watching Layer Cake.
That's a movie, isn't it?
Oh, well, is it? Might be.
It sounds familiar.
Now, I'll tell you the best movie I've seen in a long time.
Okay. Let me have it. And you don't watch very many movies, so I mean, this is actually impressive.
Well,
Billy's usually a big reader.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie.
There it is. Just like April's birthday.
Just totally random, but that reminded me. Anybody who likes good comedy should go check out this. It's by Arvin Mitchell. Best impressions of a dubbed kung fu movie. Absolutely hilarious. Like he sort of throws his voice while he's moving his mouth totally out of sync.
Put the link in there.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, put the link in there so we can figure that out.
It's
and if
hilarious.
you can figure out what Billy's talking about, the Dogs of Berlin or something like that.
Berlin is good.
Put a link in there or something. So they can figure out what it is. Dogs of Berlin.
Let me think about this movie that I just.
I think that's it. Dogs of
Now,
Berlin.
By the way, this is I see people do this on Facebook all the time, and whenever I read it, I always, for whatever reason, I always think of you when I see these types of posts, because you've said before, there's a big world out there. There's lots of things to do, lots of opportunities for people to take advantage of. Spend your time, learning something, utilizing your time wisely, et cetera, et cetera. And when I see people that go on Facebook and ask, they're like, I need something to watch. I'm so bored. I always think of you.
Man, could you imagine if you need offending if I offend you with this, right? Could you imagine being such a sheep? You have to get on Facebook and ask somebody, what should I watch?
Yeah. There's a lot of them too.
Oh
There's a lot. There's a lot of people that do that. Looking for something new on Netflix, or I'm trying to find something on Amazon Prime or whatever.
Amazon Prime has some good documentaries. Man, this movie was so good, and now I can't remember.
It was so good you can't remember the name.
You know what is so good? I can't remember the plot right now.
The Dogs of Berlin.
Perhaps this UFO
maybe
is a little bit stronger than
I jokingly said we were going to talk about psychedelics the next time we got on here, and you got all this. I don't know. Journey may not have been psychedelic. That looks kind of
a lot of 70s
cool
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool album cover for Escape. I mean, it's a cool album cover. Your mouth isn't working with your words. That's my mom. Hi, Mom. And Robert says, pull that one up, Smith, so I can see it. For those that are frequently offended, just remember, in order to be offended, you must give up some power to the one that offends.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
Probably the best comment you've ever had, Robert.
That's pretty good stuff.
I remember the plot.
Okay.
Great plot. Let's play Name That Movie.
Okay.
Probably nobody else watched this movie, but I think it was a small town Florida setting, and there was this police officer on patrol with another police officer. Police officer in the passenger side had been drinking, and the
police were drinking.
Only one.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy, the older guy.
Oh, apparently, if only one cop drinks, I guess that's okay.
No. The non-drinking cop was very upset about it.
Okay.
Like, I can't, get your act together, whatever. So they pull over a car, and the drinking guy says, you sit down. If you get out of this car, I'm going to report you. Sit your tail right here. So he goes up to the car. He gets shot. The sober guy gets shot. Drunk guy gets out of the car. They end up in a gunfight. He is able to kill the offender, the bad guy. But in the gunfight, when the rest of the cops get there, they open the trunk. There was a girl tied in the trunk, and he shot her too.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So that's how it starts.
Man.
And so he loses his job, and he has to track down, and then a couple more people get killed. So he has to work. He impersonates a private detective and goes and talks to all these people, and he actually ends up solving I won't tell you anymore in case we figure out what the name of this movie is. Anyway,
it's not the low budget Ace Ventura #3, is it?
I doubt it had the budget.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Ventura did. I was in like it probably had way
Smith, he's in deep thought. He's trying to find it.
It's not a Denzel Washington movie, is it?
No, Denzel would fit right in though. Say what's trending on Netflix?
It's trending on Netflix.
But anyway, it did have a couple of big time actors in it.
Okay, so it had some stars.
Yeah, there were some stars. A couple.
Mm.
It was good.
So there's a drunk cop and a sober cop, and the sober cop gets shot, and the drunk cop lives, and there's a girl tied in the cop car. Drunk.
Yeah, and a couple more people get killed.
Yeah, so what a plot that is.
Pretty good. Okay, you imagine. We know police officers.
Mm-hmm.
We're friends with police officers.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Hey, I'm not putting any names out there, but I know some police officers that have been drinking on the job.
I do not. I do not come hunt me down, hunt Billy.
I'm just putting it out there. If you're dumb enough to do it, you're dumb enough to say, how's he talking about me? I know.
Well, and so we'll repeat, Roberts, for those that are frequently offended.
Yeah.
Just remember, to be offended, you must give up some power to the
If you're offended at what I just said, it means you've been drinking on the job and you're a cop. I know a guy that was a police officer that would take the drugs off of the people he caught drugs from.
Yeah. I've heard of that. I don't know anybody, specifically that did.
I know specifics.
I've heard of that. And by the way, we do not want to get on the bad side of the police, because April does a really good job of that herself.
April does. What does she do?
She's not very, very police friendly.
Really? Now, if she's still watching, she's going to jump on you right now because she thinks that I'm the worst ever. I'm friends with them. I like the good cops. I like the dirty cops. I like all the cops.
No, actually, I was just giving April a hard time when we were in Broxton. The small town of Broxton.
You must not know the rest of the story.
Yeah, the small town of Broxton, and our office was in Broxton there for a while when we got started. And April had parked, what was it, on the sidewalk, and like this is a street like no one uses. It was just ridiculous.
It was my truck. I parked in front of the church, and which my uncle is the preacher there, and my grandfather actually owned that building. He was the doctor there. But right there in front of the church, there's a sign that says, "Do not park." No parking.
And you parked there anyway.
I parked there.
Well, you idiot.
Well, it was because of the church. Don't park there because of the church there. It was Monday. Nobody goes to church on Monday.
There's a sign.
Yeah. I'm going to pay attention to a sign. Anyway.
Well, what was the deal with April? Because remember, she was all mad. Was that the case? Was that the one where she was mad?
Yeah, because they came in there and he wanted she. Now let me go ahead. Paul. Usually Paul's pretty observant. Let me go ahead and tell you something.
Oh wait, April's commenting.
Yeah,
I don't hold the candle to one of y'all.
If you don't know this about April by now, if you ever attack me in front of her, she going.
Oh, don't poke the bear. Yeah. She'll stick up for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez.
But I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking that she parked there.
She took I won't say took offense. She defended me.
She took it personal. Like it was her.
She said, "Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? This is all you have to do? Come in here and worry about."
It was funny. It was because it was so silly. Yeah. Even though there was a sign and you parked there anyway, but aside from that, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I'll tell you, like I told the policeman, Paul, I've been in Broxton for 45 years. If I want to park there, I will.
What do you own, Broxton?
Well, my grandfather did own that building, and then my
wait.
preaches it.
Did own or owns?
My uncle is still the practicing preacher there.
Does he own?
Yeah, he leases it. He has like I own a home over here, and I can't just go over there because I rent it to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
My uncle is the tenant, and he said I could park there.
Well, I like April's passion, so yep. I'll give her that.
Frankie, sure. Thank you.
It was pretty funny
for who you are, my friend. You know what? I just said I love traveling the country and meeting people. I love meeting people like Frankie. So we've got so many friends in so many areas across the country that we wouldn't have if we didn't get out of our comfort zone,
right?
And call on dealers and meet people and network. And Frankie is from Alabama or Tennessee, somewhere like that. I think. Frankie, tell me where you're from.
Well, I know he's done some work for us in Alabama. I'm not sure if he's from Alabama or not.
Carolina,
yeah, it may be Tennessee. Yeah. Frankie, tell us where you're from.
That's Captain USA. We need if you guys don't know Frankie, Lower Alabama.
He's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good at what he does. Works well with dealerships, works well with us. We love having him on our team. He's a really, really, really fun guy.
Absolutely.
Very, very positive. And
Terry Gibson?
Yeah, Terry Gibson, relationships make it happen.
Yep.
You know, and it's so true.
Yep.
I mean, it really is.
Here's the thing. If I ever find myself in lower Alabama and need some help, I can call on Frankie and he's going to do whatever it takes to help me out. If I find myself in Jacksonville on the water, say we're on the St. Johns River, we have cell service, but no gas. We can call Terry Gibson. He'll bring his boat, come pick us up.
Dude, if we were in Tennessee, North Carolina, Illinois, North
Texas.
Dakota, we can call on Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie's the man.
Yep. So, okay. Who would you call on if you were in Florida? We already said Terry Gibson.
Well, I mean, I have family. So, I mean, I would call them first.
South Carolina.
You know, South Carolina. I have family in North Carolina, but I have some dealer friends in South Carolina.
What? Caleb Wilson's in South Carolina.
That's why I said it. I'm like, so I have family in North Carolina, but then I have dealer friends in South Carolina. So, yeah, I mean, there really is. It's pretty cool how I don't want to say circle of friends because it's so much broader. Or I guess it's a large circle. Your circle of friends really starts to branch out. And I mean, you're the perfect example. When you started putting stuff on Facebook. People started finding out who you were. You were getting connected that way. Of course, you had dealership friends when you worked in the car business that maybe moved off and you kind of followed them wherever they were, as far as on Facebook, stuff like that. But now, I mean, how many states have we been in now? 48. So we work with 48 different states, dealers in different states. And so we have connections and I mean, even though they're our customers, we do call them some of them are really friends too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they really are. So it's pretty cool how all that kind of comes together.
I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute.
Get on it.
All right, here I go, guys. Now there is a reason that so few people have so much of the money. And I'm about to tell you why that is.
Okay.
Because we all have the same access to the same information. Just take the 100 people who have worked for us over the past 3 years. I guarantee you 90% of them have heard me say, you need to get on your phone and you need to call these dealers. You need to call these sales managers. You need to call these general managers. You need to call the BDC manager. You need to call the staffer on site. You need to call these people and say, hey, this is Smith. I'm running your event today. If you have any problems, call me and let me know. What you don't understand, no, you're not going to get paid extra to do that, but you're building a relationship. And the more relationships you have, you may make a friend. And at the very least, you're going to show somebody that you are willing to add value and you're there to help them in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. That relationship building, that little exercise of calling those people and letting them know that you're here to help them will pay you back 100-fold. So there's so few people really do that, but the ones that do it end up with all the money that comes from that because you don't do it for the money, but you get rewarded with money.
Well, it really is. I mean, relationship means so much in business.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you have a unique product that no one else is offering, well, then obviously you're going to get customers that way. Or if you have a service that blows everybody else out of the water, you're going to get business that way. But it starts. I mean, when you did your very first Facebook event, you talked about this. You told the story a bunch of times, but it's such a cool story. You went to Kansas City. Michael Carson.
Yes.
Yeah. And what was the dealership again?
It was.
Of course, I'm asking the guy who can't remember his wife's birthday. But
Shawnee Mission Ford.
So, but I mean, you went there, and truly, it was off relationship. Michael Carson was like, "Okay, I'll let you do your thing." He knew you, trusted you, and said, "Let's do it."
Yep.
And it just built.
He let me come because of me, because of our relationship. He didn't even understand the product I was talking about, but because we had developed a relationship over the years. And here's how that relationship started. Another guy was running the event for me. I sold an event in Commerce, Georgia, a direct mail event back in 2015. And this guy knew Carson, knew he was very effective. He called Carson, asked Michael Carson, I call him Carson, if he would come help close, be the closer for the event. Michael said, sure. What's the pay plan? He said, sure, I'll come. Michael walked up to me. I'm out there putting up a gorilla. Okay. Me and Brooks Waldron. Okay. Me and Brooks Waldron are putting up a gorilla. Man walks up to me, sticks his hand out, shakes my hand, say, hey, I'm Carson, right? So right from the beginning, he was going to make sure that I knew who he was.
Right.
You know, he was networking from the moment he met me. We had a good sale. He made some money. He done some other sales for me. We separated. I went back into retail inside a dealership. He was out there doing events. I found myself without a job, but I had the idea of the Facebook events. I called several people. He should have been the first person I called. Wouldn't have meant as much though if I'd have called him, because I'd have thought anybody would let me come.
Yep.
Several people I called didn't want me to come do the event. I called Carson. I said, "Hey man, I got this idea, this event." He said, "Come on, man." Okay. And then as I say, the rest is history. Oh, at that event I know I've told the story too many times, but at that event I met a lot of people who are still doing business with today, including Mark Compton from Cowboy Kia.
And it all connects.
Yeah,
it really does. It's very cool. By the way, can I? What you're working on right now? Can we let the cat out of the bag, or you want to hold that information for a little bit?
Okay. So since you asked, we will let the cat out of the bag. But I'm going to first tell you of a philosophy that I believed in a long time, but I've never had the discipline to do all the time. Okay. So I'm practicing it. But since you asked, we can talk about it.
Okay.
All right. I'm practicing real hard on showing people what I'm doing and what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, I hope I have a surprise for you coming up pretty soon, but I'm going to show you first. Okay. So you need to show people and then tell them, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But since you asked, this is very, we can
hold that for next week.
Hold it for next week.
I'll be gone. So you could actually do the show next week and you could reveal that next week if you want.
I'm definitely not going to talk about it by myself.
Okay. All right. Then 2 weeks, or you want to give it now? We got a few minutes, maybe, or if you want to go into more detail, 2 weeks. We can tease it now if you want.
Let's tease it.
There's something coming up that Billy's working on. You're going to be interested in. It's really cool. I mean, it really is. It's exciting. It's something. I don't want to say it's completely different, because it's not.
It's not different,
but it's new.
But here's why I'm so excited, and I'm being genuinely excited right now. The things we have done in the last 3 years have been unbelievable. They're not unbelievable. Almost, they've been awesome, right? And we started with nothing. Now we have 3 years of track record and all these relationships, and we are working on something else that's really, really big.
It's coming. And by the way, thanks to everybody for watching, and we have so many different connections all across the country. Thanks to all of our dealers and salespeople and everybody that, keeps us top of the mind, that type of thing. Thanks to Smith too. I always forget to thank him. I thank him after the show. So on camera, I'll go, "Hey, Smith, thanks, dude."
Smith should be thanking you, Paul.
Yeah. You're right. He probably should. I try to be nice and I throw him under the bus. That's what happens.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, don't forget to try it. It is called McShoof. It's a weird beer. It's a little heavy, but it's good stuff. McShoof.
And if you're not scared of looking like a sissy, drink you a UFO.
UFO Georgia Peach. That's pretty good stuff too. For Billy Merritt, I'm Paul Sullivan. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, if you're going to be drinking this weekend, make sure you're not driving, and we'll see you next Friday.